All right, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to Real Madrid Hub again. I'm your host, Dr. Jota. And in this video, I wanted to make this video to speak a little bit longer than usual because we have a ton of information regarding to Kylian Mbappe. As you know, the French player show up in Canal Plus France, and where he was giving an interview, he was talking about his future. And then Khelaifi was asked about the future of Kylian Mbappe. And then Pedrerol in El Chiringuito talked as well about Kylian Mbappe. So I would like to gather all the information and give you all my own opinion, my own take, and the reasons why I'm a little bit pessimistic regarding to the signing of Kylian Mbappe for Real Madrid. Okay, so let's get started with it. So the first thing we have to consider, we have to think about, is that no matter what Kylian Mbappe says regarding to Real Madrid, because everybody knows that he wants to play for Real Madrid. Another different thing is that every time he comes out to public to speak about his future, he tries to be very careful and not to offend under any circumstance to Khelaifi, because he knows that Real Madrid still has to negotiate with PSG, and that is the most difficult part when it comes to his possible signing for Los Blancos. So the last thing he wants to do is to offend to whether Khelaifi or any of the fans of PSG, right? So that's why I'm thinking that he's being very careful with his statements, right? But aside of that, if he says that he wants to play, if he would go out to public and say, hey, I want to play for Real Madrid, I wouldn't be surprised at all, because everybody knows what is his ultimate intention. And that intention is that he wants to play, he wants to join, he wants to sign for Real Madrid, right? So there's no surprise on it. The problem here, and what all those Madridistas we have to consider, is the position of Khelaifi and his thoughts, his plan with Kylian Mbappe and also PSG. Because everything goes together. You cannot put it separated. Mbappe on one side and then PSG on the other side. No. The big thing here is that since 2017, PSG is no longer the kind of team who buys players for a very cheap price to a very affordable price and then sell them for an income or something like that. For oversell them, for double or triple or whatever you want to call it. No. PSG is no longer that kind of club. PSG is already nowadays is one of the most or the strongest teams in Europe. And as you could see last year, they were fighting for the champions until the final that they lost against Bayern Munich. And this year, they got the semifinal. So they are constantly fighting for big titles, big trophies. And although they have lost the Ligue 1 in France, something that didn't happen over the last 3 years because they won I think that they won like 3 titles in a row. They are still on the fight all the time. They consider themselves like another big or strong club in Europe. And it's not the kind of team that wants to, prepare players and, let them grow within the team and then sell them for a super insane asking price or something like that. No. For example, Borussia Dortmund is completely different. Borussia Dortmund is a club in Germany which is not fighting for Bundesliga. It has actually struggled to qualify for the next champion. So if another team shows up saying, I'm going to sign Jadon Sancho, I'm going to sign Julian Brandt, I'm going to sign to Erling Haaland, the most likely to happen is that they sell the players because they are in that business. You know what I'm saying? They buy players for a very cheap price, I mean, players who nobody know, for completely unknown players, and then they prepare these players in the team. They make them succeed. They help them to succeed in the team, and then they sell them for insane, asking price and things like that. For example, Jadon Sancho right now is worth in 90 million euros, which is insane. It's crazy. And the same thing happened with Erling Haaland. So in that kind of team, we are talking about something completely different. But PSG is no longer that kind of team. It's a completely different animal. So that's why I still think that El Khelaifi will do and will put everything he got in order to retain to Kylian Mbappe, because for him, it's super important to keep the best players in the team in order to keep winning and keep fighting for titles and all the stuff. And once they renewed to Neymar, it's pretty obvious that Neymar needs more big names and big players around him. You know what I'm saying? And the last thing they want for Neymar to feel is that he lacks more, number ones, big players, super powerful players like Kylian Mbappe. You know what I'm saying? And right now, in my opinion, there's no another player who can occupy or he can replace or substitute to Kylian Mbappe, with the same profile. Young, powerful, super fast, super striker, scoring goals all the time, one of the best players in Europe. There's no replacement for it. The only replacement is Erling Haaland, and Erling Haaland is not going to sign for PSG. So that's why I do believe that this signing of Kylian Mbappe for Real Madrid is going to be very difficult. And I bet that they will even wait for the next year to lose. Taking all the risks to lose to Kylian Mbappe for free. But I'm thinking that they are willing to do that. Because it's something that is really worth it for them. If you keep to Mbappe one more year, you can still, you will be sure that this player will help you to win more titles. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, it's something that really worth it to keep Kylian Mbappe until the last year of his contract, even being aware that he will leave for free the next year. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what, how Real Madrid has behaving towards Kylian Mbappe over the last years, that we have been, very respectful with PSG, not hinting anything about the signing of Kylian Mbappe and trying to keep a good relationship. Florentino Perez getting along with Al Khelaifi all the time. No matter what, man, if Al Khelaifi says no, it's gotta be no. And no matter what the good relationship that PSG has with Real Madrid, they don't care. They don't care. If you are supposed to protect the interests of Real Madrid, you have to get into a war. Because this is going to be a war. This is going to be tough, it's going to be difficult, and it's going to be something that's really worth it at the end of the tunnel. But you have to go through it. And you have to try to get it. Because there's no Madridista around the world who will accept the fact that Mbappe might sign for Real Madrid in 2022 and not this year. Nobody is prepared for that. No, a single Madridista across the world is ready to hear from Florentino Perez that Mbappe is not coming anymore. It's not coming this year, but we have to wait the next year. No, we need a big player right now in this summer. And Mbappe is the person, is the player, is the star that we need. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you that it's not going to be easy. It's gotta be actually very tough. A very tough process, a very difficult process without even knowing what it's really going to happen. I'm sorry because I didn't want to be so pessimistic, but it's the truth. It's the truth. It's not going to be easy. Nobody said that. And if there were somebody who still was believing that it was going to be so easy, okay, welcome to the real world, but it's not going to happen. because PSG is still the owner of Kylian Mbappe. And they don't want to get rid of the player. So now, let me know your thoughts about that. Just comment in the section below. And of course, subscribe to my channel, Real Madrid Hub.